Speaking of Calgary, by the way, so Jacob Peltier apparently just made his NHL debut. I thought he's been with the team for like ever. And I guess he just
No.
hasn't played.
Yeah.
Darryl Sutter was asked about his play and how his first game went, and Darryl Sutter goes to ask what number he wears, pulls out the game sheet, reads off his stats from the night, and simply says at his age he's got a lot. Paraphrasing here because I can't remember if he's 21 or 20. He's got a long way to go, and like sometimes stuff doesn't read well. Alex, I watched the video. I think everyone has, and it took me a few days to watch it because I could feel the secondhand embarrassment of it. What a dick! That's all I
Yeah.
have to say about Darryl Sutter. Just what a dick.
I'm going to see if I can find this tweet because I saw a really good tweet explaining this. Okay, this is from Darren Haynes, who is he writes for the Calgary press, the Canadian press, sorry. And he says, honestly, Darryl Sutter should be embarrassed about how he handled the post-game question asking for his thoughts on how Jacob Peltier played in his debut. For a coach that values veterans, leadership, and the maturity of older players, it was an unnecessarily immature moment.
I think that's a very good way of putting it.
I I'm this is how I look. This is how I look at the entire situation because I think this is bigger than Jacob Peltier. Is that fair to say? Like this whole season with the Calgary Flames is bigger than his
We
response to
haven't
Jacob Peltier.
we haven't focused on Sutter enough this year. I think, by, like
He's
individuals.
I like he lost Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk and Eric and Branson. Let's not forget about him over the summer. They were replaced with Nazem Kadri, Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar. That's who. Yeah, essentially those were the big things. Were they the team that brought in Sonny Milano and didn't end up keeping him? Was that?
They
Was
gave
that
him a PTO,
PTO?
and then
Yeah.
I think they waived him, or no,
No, I
they
think they
they
just
didn't
let him
sign
go.
him. Chicago, then Washington brought
Washington
him in
did.
and waived him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It seems like he's been going back and forth with general manager Brad Treliving, not Jim, Brad, for the entire season through the media.
there's a power struggle there.
Like,
What is it in Western Canada right now? What's going on?
I don't know. I don't understand this, what his dynamic, what he's trying to pull off here.
He's being a dick.
It, it,
He's an old dude who doesn't care to hide his thoughts anymore. I think the game's passed him by at this point.
but the thing was, they were such a good team last year, and they flamed out against the Oilers because of the goaltending.
Ha
Okay, yeah, that's good.
ha!
I didn't clue in on that. Sorry. But so what's changed? What's changed in a matter of the 4 months in the offseason? Yeah, you got a whole batch of players, but like what's changed in the sense of like how has the game passed him by? The team was really good last year. They had 3 40-goal scorers on their first line. What's changed?
The thing is, I think they've lost those finish. Well, if we talk about their game wise, they've lost their best finishers. That's why they can't score right now. It's
Sure.
we brought in guys who, no offense to Kadri, he's not elite sniper, but Huber was obviously a tremendous playmaker. So that's what you can say. I think there's a sense of what I mean more is, I think there's a certain way you got to deal with young players and the way you have to sort of carry yourself as a coach. And
Sure.
not to mention also their Vezina finalist last year, ignoring the playoffs, also has not been up to par. When you don't get goaltending and then you can't score all of a sudden, you can't do much even with such a tremendous defensive core. I just don't know who he thinks he's helping here. And I just don't know if this as a coach is what you should be like in 2023. I'm not saying you baby players, but I just don't know how I, as a player who has been waiting for my chance, and I know I'm part of the future here, can play out there. By the way, I'm playing with Trevor Lewis. That's really going to set me up to succeed here. and my coach is just going to say he's got a lot to go in a league that is getting younger, by the way. And like, who, what, like, give me a good reason you have to ask what number he is. Like, that is so disrespectful to one of your players. Why? You've just come off a. I'm sorry, I don't know if this is after the Tampa Bay win. My apologies. But you just beat Tampa Bay. You need a bit of consistency. But you're going to go out and say that this young man making his NHL debut, at least for this season, I'm pretty sure, and you're going to say, hey there, what number is he? Like, just, why you need to be such a dick? Anyway,
Yeah,
I just got to get, I just thought it was unnecessary.
it
Uh,
was the Tampa game.
it wasn't, come on. You got a
Even
jersey thrown on the ice from a Tampa fan, and you're thinking, what number? Get out of here.
no, even if he played a poor game, you don't necessarily have to do that. I'm reading about. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but it's related. I'm reading this book about it's written by someone else, but it's essentially about Sir Alex Ferguson, the longtime manager of Manchester United, and he talks about his like leadership style, and it's really about that. And he talks about like how he handles young players, and really he talks about like how he handles players when it comes to the media. And he's like, I don't really like to unless it's an extremely egregious performance, I do not trash my players, or I do not talk poorly of my players in the media. And this just seems the complete opposite of that. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it from Darryl. Like, I think you asked the perfect question. Who's winning here? Or like, what are we gaining from this?
I don't know if it's an ego thing or something, but the whole Darryl Sutter dry humor thing's starting to go a little. I just don't see a
That's not dry humor. That's not dry
no, but
humor.
the vibe he had was dry
Sure,
humor
sure,
only,
sure.
and
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's just he's just being a dick.